Assalamualaikum. Hi and welcome back everyone. So today is going to be our first class of UBI 20402, right, which is the academic reading and writing. So for today's class, we are going to look at the introductions of academic writing, right, and here if you can see the slides of table of content. Right, so we are going to cover the introductions and the purposes of the academic writing. We can look at the structures of academic writing. The third one, the writing academic process. And last but not least, we are going to cover the coherence and cohesions. So here is the first one, introductions to academic writing. So when we talk about the academic writing, the academic refers to the education, right? So meaning that here, academic writing refers to the writing or the writing of essays or any type of writing which serves the purpose of the education. Right? For example, here in the next slide, you can see several definitions of the academic writing. So I have listed here, for example, academic writing is part of a complex process of finding, analyzing, and evaluating information. At the same time, you'll need to plan, structure, edit, and proofread your work and reflect on the feedback that underpins written assessments at the university. So one thing that you should know is that academic writing is clear, concise, focused, structures, and backed up by evidences. So in simple words, we can say academic writing is actually the writing done for academic purposes. When we talk about the academic writing, so it has two different types, which are the first one is the expert academic writing, and the second one is the student academic writing. So this is what you are doing in your university time, whereby when you are doing the assessment at the university, you are actually producing academic writing. And of course, the audience of your writing is your lecturers and the professors. And the purpose of your academic writing is actually to demonstrate what you have learned in that current semester. And it is a little bit different with the experts academic writing, whereby those who are writing for this one is writing for publications, and they're going to submit this for journals or book. Next one, so here are the four main types of the academic writing. So the first one is descriptive writing, which is the most common one for the academic writing. Then you have the persuasive writing, so you can read the descriptions over here. You have the analytical, and another one you have the critical writing. So as you can see here, the examples of the academic writing assignments for students. So for example, you will produce essays, right, research papers, thesis dissertations, or even research proposal, literature review, you have lab reports, or you have annotated essays. So if you are being asked to write these types of essay, you are actually producing an academic writing. Next one, we're going to talk about the purposes of the academic writing. First is to inform. So you write academic writing to inform people about certain things, and even if you want to argue a specific point, so you write, for example, argumentative writing. And also the third purpose is to persuade people in order to accept your point. So you are going to have the persuasive writing. So when we talk about the structures of academic writing, even though you are writing persuasive writing, or even though you are writing descriptive essays, so all those have certain structures that you need to follow. And the most common one is called as the three-part essay structure, right? And this you can see in the next slide. So we can say academic writing has the three-part essay structure, Because the first one you have the introduction part, the second one you have the body paragraphs, then the third one you have the conclusions. And you need to remember that in the introductions you have the thesis statements, whereby in the body paragraphs you have the topic sentences, and in the conclusions you have the restatement of your thesis statement again. So next, we are going to talk about the writing academic process. So what you need to know that before you are writing an essay or academic writing, so you need to know these 5 steps so that later you are going to produce a good piece of writing. So before you write, you need to know the topic. So here you need to make sure you understand the assignment, and also you need to consider who will read your work. And after that, you need to read and do some research. For example, you list places where you can find the information, you search for relevant sources, and you gather the information that you need. Right? So after this, when you have done the research, what you need to do is you need to do the outline. Also, you need to plan the organizations of your writing. For example, here you are going to make an outline to have organized your research, and you can use bullet points or numbering to make your structure clear at a glance. So here it will help you in outlining and planning your writing, right? So next step, when you have completed the outline, so you can start your writing. So here is the time for you to produce the full first draft. But then after you have completed your full first draft, there is one step left that here you need to edit and review your writing. So here you correct the spelling, capitalization, and punctuation, and also here you need to make sure you are using the appropriate style formatting, right? Then this is the summary of the writing process. So you need to remember that you are going to do the preparations, the writing, the write up, and last but not least, you are going to have the revisions. So when we talk about producing a good writing, you need to make sure that your writing, your essay, or your what we call your work is going to be, or it's going to have the coherence and the cohesion. So coherent is actually when there is flows of ideas from one sentence to the next. It's going to be very smooth and logical, meaning here that if you have the first sentence and the second sentence, so the first sentence and the second sentence should be smooth. All right, the transition is going to be smooth, and your readers can understand what is going on in the first sentence and also in the second sentence. So here are several ways in establishing the coherence in writing. So you can look at this between words, between sentences, and even between paragraphs. Next, you need to make sure that your writing has the cohesion. When we talk about the cohesion is achieved when sentences are connected at the sentence level, meaning here that cohesion focuses on the grammar and the styles of your paper. For example, you can use repeated words or ideas, you can use reference words, you can use transitional signals such as however, in addition, and you can even use substitutions and ellipses. So ellipses means leaving out one or more words from the sentence because the meaning is clear from the context itself, right? So again, in order to make sure that you have a good piece of writing, you need to make sure to have both cohesion and also coherence in your writing. So that's all for today's class. So we are going to continue the rest, the next lesson. So if you have any questions, you can ask, and we will proceed after this with the practices on your e-learning. Till then, see you again next week. Inshallah, then bye-bye. Salam.